What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode, and today I'm going to show you 5 weaknesses of the INTJ personality type. Now, we made a video detailing the strengths of this personality last week, which I'll link in the description down below, but as you're going to see, some of these strengths can cause weaknesses as well. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. Alright guys, so in case you missed last week's video, INTJ stands for Introverted, Intuitive, Thinking and Judging, and it is one of the 16 personality types identified on the Myers-Briggs personality assessment. Those who are INTJs tend to have the following characteristics. They're very logical, they're very creative, very analytical, and of course introverted. Now, being super logical always allows them to excel in critical thinking, problem solving and decision making, and it's estimated that 1 to 4% of the population have this personality type, which makes it super rare. Now, all of that sounds good, right? Being super logical about everything you do in your everyday life. But let's look at how this can cause issues for this personality type in other areas of their life. So weakness number 1. INTJs tend to be trapped in their head, which can lead to social problems. Now, because the INTJ's nature is being logical, analytical, etc., they find it very hard to let loose and relax. This can be seen especially during social gatherings where most people, tend to vibe with each other without much deep thought involved. Now, the INTJ, on the other hand, will overanalyze everything and try to make logical sense out of it. This, of course, is detrimental as it stops them from enjoying that natural free-flowing communication that you have when you're in a social interaction. Overanalyzing everything of an interaction can potentially make you focus on potential problems that are not even there, which can then lead to anxiety. Weakness number 2, friendships. Now, INTJs have a hard time maintaining or developing friendships. This is because they are so focused on their future goals, they may logically conclude in their mind that having this new friendship is probably not worth it in the long term, or that it won't work out. Now, we all do this to a certain extent. If we can see a friendship isn't going anywhere, we won't pursue it. But INTJs have a habit of doing this to the extreme. Now, because of this, INTJs tend to not have a lot of friends. But the good news is, the friends that they do have are very close and deep friendships, and not just surface level friendships that a lot of people have on social media and certainly in the modern world. It's also worth mentioning that INTJs prefer making friendships with people who are introverted, logical, and avoid drama. Problem number 3. Being a perfectionist. Now, one of the biggest issues that this personality type faces is that they are a perfectionist at heart. Everything they do must be perfect and done at a high level, in fact the highest level. Now, while this may sound good in some cases, striving for perfection is almost always a losing battle. Those who strive for perfection tend to procrastinate about everything. They tend to be slow when completing a task due to wanting to get it right and perfect, and they have a massive fear of failure. This can paralyze them to not even beginning the task in the first place, or it can stop them from pursuing the task fully. Now, as most of us realize eventually, good enough is good enough, okay? You can't be perfect all the time. And that is something the INTJ struggles with. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more psychology content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Issue number 4, dismissive of emotions. Now, the INTJ values logic and reasoning above everything else. So much so that they tend to be dismissive or agitated by those who prioritize emotion first. Now, to be fair, in most cases, logic is mostly needed. But going back to our first point, sometimes it's best if you let your emotional side deal with the situation, such as in social interactions, which requires the constant transfer of emotions, or as we call vibing, and not strict critical thinking every 5 minutes. Now, INTJs also have very little time for emotional people, which again can affect them socially and affect their relationships. This isn't everyone, but it certainly is a factor worth bringing up. Issue number 5. Constant criticism. Now, INTJs can be super critical, so much so that they will begin to criticize things even when it's not called for. This includes people, places, things, events, everything's up for criticism. Again, this super critical side often damages the INTJ's social relationships or negatively impacts them when they're out socializing in general. After all, no one wants to be around someone who criticizes everything. Bear in mind though, all of these issues are not set in stone, and the INTJ can work on these weaknesses and make them non-existent to a great extent. It just takes a lot of work, practice and guidance to do so. But there you have it, 5 weaknesses of the INTJ personality type. Let us know what you think of this personality in the comments down below, and let us know of any other weaknesses that we may have missed. Check out our previous video which shows 5 awesome strengths of the INTJ personality. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more personality and psychology videos in the future. I will speak to you in the next one. Take care. Peace.
NANI?!